Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. Welcome back if you've been here before. Thank you so much for coming back if you've been here before. So today I am going to be doing a pick a card reading on messages from your inner witch. And we are going to be looking at what's happening in your life. What requires your attention, what's going on, what situation is coming up in your life. We are going to be looking at advice and practical actions that you can take right now, as well as other messages. And we are going to be tapping into our inner witch. And I say witch regardless of gender. So we have 3 piles, and pile number 1 is going to be this woman with the wolf. I kind of call her my storm witch. Pile number 2 is going to be this mushroom witch. Pile number 3 is going to be this witch with the antlers. So take a few minutes to ground, center yourself. Pause the video if you need to and ask yourself which pile has a message for you. And let's jump right into the reading. Hi, pile number 1. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you are drawn to this woman. I call her my seasonal storm witch, but she has her companion wolf there, and let's see what the messages are. So as a reminder, this is a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. We're going to be looking at the situation currently happening in your life, what your inner witch wants to bring to your attention. Then we're going to take a look at advice, and we'll take a look at practical actions you can take as well as other messages. So let's start with 7 of chalices. There's some indecision here for my pile number 1s. I kind of got, as soon as I saw it, I just got like this feeling of being overwhelmed and confused. Then we have 2 7s. And the 7 is a very spiritual number. You could be seeing 777. You could be seeing 7s all over the place. Any variations of the 7. I'm also getting 4s for this pile. You could be seeing 4s. So there's a sense here of feeling a bit overwhelmed. Not knowing exactly what to do. For my pile number 1s, it feels like you've been trying to get your affairs in order. You've been trying to get certain things situated. And it's going to differ it's going to be different for everyone here watching. For some of you, this could be about career. This could be about school. This could be about family. This could be a combination. I do feel for quite a few of you, this is a combination of different areas in your life where you are trying to figure out what to do and what requires attention and figure out where you should focus on. There's a feeling of a lot of opportunities at this time. And my pile number 1s, you are someone who has a lot of willpower. You have the willpower to continue and to move forward. And you're very ambitious and determined as well. But again, there's this energy of almost confusion, trying to figure out what the right thing is, trying to figure out what requires your attention, where you should focus at. And there is a sense of, I have many options, but I'm also looking for what is right for me. And there is a little bit of doubt as to what is right, because for many, there's this sense, even if you don't have actual options that you can try, there's a sense of many different ideas. There's almost, for my pile number 1s, your energy is very scattered. And your inner witch is asking that you connect to your intuition and that you fight for what you know you deserve. For many of you, you are receiving guidance. Look at this. They're lifting her hair up so they can whisper in her ear. So you are receiving guidance as to which option is best for you. And I have to say this, for some in my pile number 1, there's almost this energy of living in the fantasy of what could be, rather than taking a chance and doing it. There is a lot of crown, third eye, chakra energy for this pile, and there's a need to ground that a bit. Let's take a look at what the advice is. 8 of torches, or 8 of wands, and we have the fox there, and judgment. All right, pile number 1, what did we say? For many of you, this is about tapping into your creativity. Even if this is about career, finances, family, there's a way for you to get creative about this. There's a way for you to see how it's all connected, because we have the spider showing up there. The advice right now from your inner witch, it's time to listen in. It's time to forgive yourself for anything that you think you've done or haven't done. And it's time to move forward. There's information coming in. There are intuitive hints coming in. There's guidance coming in as to what the next step is. It's going to be different things for different people. We're going to take a look at what the practical advice is. But there is a need to move forward and take action at this time. Because right now is the time to begin movement. You don't have to know which cup is the right one for you. I'm hearing that very clearly. It's about trying things until you find the cup that is right for you. So it's about choosing one and dedicating yourself to it. And if it's not the right one, you still have other options. It's about exploring your options, but doing so using your intuition. Because I'm getting that if you were to have 7 options in front of you for my pile number 1s, there's at least 4 of them that you can knock out of the way and say that those are not right for me, if you truly connect to your intuition. Pile number 1, it's also a good time to be mindful that not everything that glitters is gold. Not everything that looks good on the surface is actually good for you. Let's take a look at the practical advice. 10 of wands. 2 of pentacles. Yeah. For my pile number 1s, many of you are juggling. You're trying to keep up. Let's move these slightly out the way. You're trying to keep up with a lot. And you are juggling a lot. It's time to prioritize. Practically what you can do is you can prioritize what requires your attention at this time. There's a lot of burdens. There's a lot that you're trying to carry. There's a lot that you're trying to juggle. Your inner witch is saying it's time to prioritize what requires your attention right now. What do you want to dedicate yourself to right now? This is also about creating balance, but most importantly, prioritizing that which is most important to you at this time. Do not spread yourself thin. Instead of trying to simultaneously invest in 7 different cups, 7 different options, 7 different things, projects, ideas, whatever those cups represent for you, it's time to choose one and focus on it. It's also time to create balance in your work life and in your spiritual life, or how much you work and how much you play. Because there's a lot going on, and for my pile number 1s, you're going to burn out if you keep going the way that you are. It's time to get serious about what it is that you want to give time and energy to. This is also about putting down anything that is not yours to carry. For some of you, you have people in your life that they are coming to you and they are dumping all of their things onto you. For some of you, you have a lot of pain in the neck and shoulder area, and it's coming from trying to carry the weight of the world on your shoulders. Let's take a look at what else we have. A pile number 1. Clean it up. Yep. Clean it up. This is saying energetically, clean it up. It's time to set some boundaries. Boundaries around your time, your energy, yourself, even when it comes to other people, but especially when it comes to yourself, because you tend to take on too much, pile number one. And again, what do you need to focus on right now? How can you give your full attention to one thing right now instead of spreading yourself? Yang, again, action. We have the 8 of torches or the 8 of wands, which is about action. And now we have Yang, which is about action, taking action on something. For some of you, like I said, for a few of you, you're in the mind so much and you're using your imagination about what it is that you want to create, but you're not actually taking any tangible steps to make that thing a reality. So it's kind of living in your mental space, but nothing is happening to create it in the reality that you're living in. And for some of you, that has to do with fear. The tribe. Pile number one. For some of you, it's time to start delegating, asking for help and allowing other people to help you. For others of you, there's some soul family coming in, but you need to make space. If you are looking to connect with like-minded people, this is saying it's here, it's possible for you, but you need to create space for it. Let's do that. Because there's this energy here of your energy is so cluttered and your energy is so scattered at this time that nothing new can come in. So it's about clean it up. Get clear about what you want to invest your time and energy into. I'm hearing even money. For some of you, what do you want to invest your time, energy, and money into? Once you get clear on that, take action on it. But focused action. And then this is going to create space for you to bring in soul tribe. And for some of you, the tribe is also about delegating, setting boundaries in place. Let's see what else we have. Shield Maiden, make plans and focus. I don't see these cards before you do. But there we have some confirmation. What did I say? Focused action. And now we have make plans and focus. This is about you focusing. But you need to clean it up. You need to pick a cup. You need to pick an option. You need to pick an idea. If you go after everything you have too many balls in the air. It's not going to work the way that you want it to. Moon, take note of intuitive messages. Your inner witch is saying, I'm trying to communicate with you. And it's actually interesting because she does remind me of a moon goddess and there is a wolf there. But your inner witch is saying, I'm trying to communicate with you. Look at this. We talked about this when we first flipped this card. Look at the intuition coming in. This is spirit communicating. But are you listening? Are you taking note of what's being said? The guidance that you're receiving. Some of you are so busy you can't listen. For some of you, making sure that you're doing some moon rituals, such as full moon, new moon. I'm also checking in with the moon cycles because you are highly affected by the moon cycles. There's a connection to this pile and to Mother Earth, to Gaia, and it's almost like the temperatures, the seasons, the moon cycles affect my pile number ones. So sometimes you are feeling very tired and it's because of what's happening outside of you, especially with the moon. She-wolf, unleash the wild within. Very interesting. Another wolf here, another woman, and you were drawn to the wolf and the woman. There's a lot of protection here for you, but you're also very intuitive and very much connected to instincts. Are you tuning in to the messages that are coming in? Some of you, full moon, very important. Again, all moon cycles, but full moon coming in is very important. For some of you, you need to howl at the moon is what I'm hearing. For many of you, you do have a wolf as a spirit animal, spirit guide, totem animal. I'm seeing a red wolf for someone. But yeah, for some of you, make sure that you are working with the moon cycles, especially the full moon and the new moon. Let's see what else we have. Transformation, like 1,000 storms held in hands soft against the winds, there is change arising from deep within. With judgment here, you are receiving a call to connect, a call for more. There's information trying to come in, but for my pile number ones, for many of you, you're so busy. For some of you, you are busy trying to keep up with the world and all of your responsibilities. For others of you, you're busy in your mind, in what could be, but not actually taking action on it. And I say that lovingly and respectfully. Apples. To taste, one must swallow it whole, and beneath the satin flames hides drowning waters. For some of you working with I was just going to say animals. Definitely animals, because we have the wolf here, the wolf there. I'm also getting the bear, a boar, snake, and bat. But also working with apples. Some of you connecting to your body more. There's a disconnect from the body for some of my pile number one. A sense of not truly being in the body, not truly, for some of you, not even really feeling what's going on in the body. Kind of needing to plug yourself back into your body, ground your energy, clear your energy. Go out into nature more. Let's see what we have as far as astrology. Jupiter, abundance. There's definitely abundance trying to come in. Look at this, another 7. There's a lot of 7s here. This is a very spiritual pile. And some of you are keeping yourselves busy and you can't quite connect to your intuition, to your inner witch. But there's a lot of abundance here as you go through this transformation. This is about you trusting your intuition over your mind and finding a way to allow them to work together. But definitely integrating your intuition, your instincts more. Water element, sensing. Yeah, this is a very intuitive pile. For some of you, water element is very prominent in your natal chart. For others of you, working with the water element would be very helpful. You can do a cleansing bath. You can do, for some of you, there's something about thunderstorms and even storms in general. Like if it's raining, obviously not in the thunderstorm, but if it's raining, going out and allowing yourself to feel the rain on your body, on your skin. But there's definitely a connection to bodies of water here, rain, thunderstorms, and the emotional body. And you are being called to connect more to your emotional body. The Earth Fairy, physical health, grounding, foundations. What did I say? This pile needs to ground. The Queen, woman, fertility, feminine power, friendships. We're not going to read the other one. I'm sure you saw it. Pile number 1. It's time. Your inner witch wants you to connect to the divine feminine. It's time to plug into the divine feminine. And you can use, we missed one. And you can use your ability to take action, your connection to the divine masculine, to take action on what you are being guided to do through the divine feminine. This is about bringing in balance. The Grail Knight, romance, illusion, seeking the sacred. Pile number 1, what are you romanticizing? It's all over this reading. What are you romanticizing? What are you dreaming up but not taking any action on? What requires your attention? There's some sort of illusion, something going on with that 7 of Cups, Grail Knight. We've seen it all throughout. Let's see what we have. Death. And we had transformation. This is the second transformation card. The eternal cycle begins here. There's a new beginning for my pile number 1s. but you have to get clear. You have to step out of the energy of just imagining things. Take action, connect to your intuition, connect to your witch, to your inner witch. For some of you, you don't want to fully connect because you are not sure if you should fully believe. You're not sure if you should fully believe and trust this because there's a part of you that's very grounded, very connected to the mind. And then there's a part of you that's very intuitive. And both of these parts almost feel like they're at war with one another. And it's about finding a way for both to coexist. The underworld, where all things pause and begin again. Some of you working with Persephone. This card really reminds me of Persephone. Scorpio energy here. Some of you could have Scorpio sun, moon, or rising. Whatever it is, I feel this combination of water, air, and earth. So it could be that you have the three elements as your sun, moon, or rising. But there's definitely this energy of someone who is very much connected to the tangible, who can work hard. Someone who's very much in the mind space, but also someone who has the potential to tap into intuition. My pile number one's for many of you, you're a mystic at heart, but you're not truly tapping into that. And that can have to do with self-doubt. Keeping up, immense effort, advance. And we did have the 10 of Wands. Some of you need to really prioritize because it's becoming harder and harder to keep up with all the responsibilities and you keep taking on more and more. Some of you are spinning your wheels and you're tired, and this is why there needs to be an ending and a new way of doing things, a transformation. And some of you are trying to chase multiple dreams at the same time, multiple things at the same time. And this is about, at this time, focusing on one. Growing up, wanting to grow in experience, rejection of perpetual truth. That's making sense. For some in my pile number one, this is kind of clicking right now. There's a part of you that wants to believe in magic, 2121. There's a part of you that is trying so hard not to, because you may feel silly, because you are an adult, you are a grown-up, and there are certain things that you shouldn't believe in. You should work hard and you should focus on your finances, abundance. But there's that inner calling to follow your spirituality, your intuition, to believe in magic, to connect to the things that are not tangible, to the things that cannot be proven, to truly give in to that side of yourself. And your inner witch is inviting you to do so. Let's see what we have here. Lord Ganesha, again, a lot of abundance coming in. We had Jupiter as well. Removal of obstacles, clear path ahead. Some of you, there's definitely a clearing of a path happening. And Archangel Zadkiel, mercy, violet flame, transmutation. For some of you working with the violet flame, if you do not know, this card has been coming out a lot in my personal readings and in group readings. If you do not know, my business, Violet Integration, is actually named after the violet flame. If you look at my logo, what you see the raven surrounded in is the violet flame. So I highly suggest for this pile, if you feel drawn to looking up the violet flame, working with the violet flame. There are decrees you could work with. You can visualize the violet flame cleansing, getting rid of stagnant energy, getting rid of any spiritual debris. You can let me know in the comment section. There's a book called Violet Flame by Elizabeth Clare Prophet. I highly recommend it. But if you need tips on how to work with it, leave a comment below and I will definitely get back to you. I don't get many comments, so that's a good thing. I can get back to everyone. So, but there is a need to transform things. Working with Archangel Zadkiel, working with the violet flame, alchemy. The violet flame is alchemy. let's take a look. Charoite, I believe that's how you say it, charoite, and garnet. Now, one thing about me, I am not very good with crystals, so we are going to read that from the book. 1 second. So we have wound healing, and it says, time to take control. You are undergoing a vibrational change, creating links to higher realities. Visions of past lives suggest ways to redress karma personally and collectively. And it says all chakras and healing insight. In accepting the present moment as perfect, you create the space to heal. For some of you, this is definitely about creating space. Creating the space to heal, creating the space to connect to yourself, and again, cleaning it up, figuring out what you want to focus on. So Garnet says, you are a passionate soul with a courageous heart. Be confident and constant. Again, focused intent for my pile number ones. Let go of your inner demons, taboos, inhibitions, and fantasies. Fantasies, again, there's something that you're fantasizing about, romanticizing. Recognize self-sabotage and expand your awareness into all that you can be. Virtue matters to you. You are capable of great devotion to a cause or a relationship and have a strong survival instinct. Healing insight, finding an appropriate outlet for your passions and emotions creates well-being. For my pile number ones, what you need to dedicate yourself to, commit yourself to, is your relationship with your own spirituality, with your own internal landscape, and your own magical self and magical being. Your inner witch is saying, dedicate yourself to me. Let's work together. Let's create change. Let me show you how powerful we can be. A blessing for healing of injury or illness. For some of you, there's something here around, I do feel some of you have physical pain, but I also feel some of you are healing from, it's almost like you're healing from disbelief, grounding yourself more, because there's kind of a mixed energy to this pile where there is a sense of someone who's grounded, but there's also a sense of someone who lives in a bit in a fantasy world. Like, this is a group that can probably go to work and do what needs to be done, but on your time off, you may spend a lot of time fantasizing what could be instead of trying to create it. And again, I say that lovingly and respectfully. And then finally, Morrigan's blessing of peace after battle. For some of you, there's a lot of peace coming in. Some of you might want to work with the Morrigan. Ravens, violet flame coming in as very important. If you found this video, there's probably something to take away, and that is the violet flame. I really feel that that would be very helpful for this pile. But there's a sense of peace coming after this transformation, after this internal battle. My pile number ones, you need to integrate your inner witch with the rest of your life. There's almost a sense of disruption here because you're fighting against yourself. All right, pile number one, let me know what you thought in the comment section below. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number two. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you are drawn to this mushroom witch, or I guess we can say earth. There's definitely a connection there to the earth. So as a reminder, this is going to be a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. You know yourself best. So we are going to be looking at a few things here. We're going to be looking at what is currently happening. This is messages from your inner witch. So what situation does your inner witch want to bring to your attention? We're going to be looking at these two cards as far as what the advice is, and then we're looking at these two cards for practical things that you can do at this time. So let's take a look. First card here, Page of Wands. Second card, the Star. Very interesting energy. So for my pile number twos, your inner witch, it's very interesting. You were drawn to the sticker with this girl here, and she seems very grounded. And the energy that we have here with the Page of Wands and the Star is actually the opposite of that. It's more about being in the imagination, being in what's possible, connecting to the spirit realm, connecting to possibility, connecting to imagination. I feel for my pile number 2s, you are someone who's very grounded. You are very much in tune with your root, sacral, and solar plexus chakras. And your inner witch wants to bring in more magic into your life. Your inner witch wants to help you connect to possibility, to the archetype of the child magical. There's a sense of connecting to magic, what it means. When we are younger, we can believe anything is possible. And for my pile number 2s, your inner witch wants you to connect to that energy of anything is possible. I can create anything. Magic is real. There's beauty in the world. Imagination, creativity coming to the forefront. This is also a pile that your inner witch wants you to connect to your ability to. This is about connecting to your ability to co-create with the universe. For some of you, there's been a loss here when it comes to believing in what could be. Some of you are very grounded in this earthly realm, very grounded in the material, the tangible, so much so that you have lost a little bit of your touch. You have lost your sense of magic, your sense of believing in what can't be touched, seen, or felt. I'm hearing seeing is believing, believing is seeing. And for my pile number 2s, you operate from the seeing is believing. And your inner witch wants you to connect to seeing, believing is seeing. Because I feel for this pile, this was a pile that was very much into fantasy, imagination, magic growing up. But somewhere along the way, you've kind of lost that connection. You've become more grounded, more aware of the realities of the world, right? So for my pile number 2s, your inner witch is calling on you to go within, to find your sense of adventure. For some of you, spending time outdoors would be very helpful at this time. Some of your gifts are, for many of you, some of these gifts are really active at night. Very clairvoyant for my pile number 2s. Claircognizance as well, but what your inner witch wants you to connect to is the clairvoyance. Let's take a look at the advice coming in here. 9 of torches or 9 of wands and temperance. I was going to say, do we have temperance here twice? But this is the star. So my pile number 2s. Your inner witch wants you to prioritize yourself. This is a time of finding balance between all aspects of yourself. For some of you, this is also about finding balance as far as what you put your energy to, what you give energy to, how you spend your time. For many of you, this is about bringing in more magic, more adventure, more spontaneity into your everyday life. My pile number 2s, some of you feel the energy here feels very heavy, very bogged down. There's a lot of responsibilities. There's a lot of to-do lists. There's a lot that needs to be accomplished. There's a lot of work. And your inner witch wants you to bring in more balance, to create more balance. For some of you, there's a need to transform how you relate to the world and the responsibilities that you have. There is a need here to connect to spirit more. And again, for this pile, there's this need to connect to what is possible. Possibility. What you believe to be possible for yourself, for the world. Because for some of you, the energy is very heavy. And this is again about bringing in balance. And for some of you, it's bringing in balance with how much you work and how much responsibilities you take on. For some of you, you're definitely burnt out at this time. There's also a need for some in my pile number 2 to bring balance as far as how much time you spend indoors and how much time you spend outdoors. For some of you, you're spending way too much time indoors. And this is about bringing in more optimism. Definitely bringing in more optimism. Be careful, pile number 2, with what you are consuming at this time. Let's take a look at practical advice. Page of Swords. Strength. Okay. So for my pile number 2s, what your inner witch wants you to do at this time is kind of rediscover who you are. Rediscover what it is that you believe in. For some of you, this is a good time to connect to your courage, compassion. This is a good time to offer yourself forgiveness. This is a good time to offer others forgiveness. With strength here, this is also a good time to bring in intuition, to connect to your intuition. This is about connecting to your willpower and facing your fears, controlling your fears, if you will, getting a handle on your fears, working on accepting what is and creating change in the areas that you do want to change. This is also about doing some shadow work, reconciling certain aspects of yourself. This is about not allowing things to spin out of control at this time. Because again, there is that sense of a lot of responsibility. And there's a need to keep going, but there's a need to keep going in a different way, in a different manner than what you've done in the past. With this Page of Swords, again, this is about learning. For many of you, it's about learning more about yourself and what pushes you forward. For others of you, this is about learning different ways of doing things. And this is about connecting to your energy. For many of you, there's a need to connect to the inner child here with this Page of Wands, Page of Swords. Making plans, trying new things, going after what you want. For some of you, trying something that you may think with this Page of Wands, Page of Swords here, something that you may think is impossible. Something that you don't think is possible for you. Let's take a look at what else we have. No place like home. Yeah. Pile number 2, it's time to connect within. It's time to connect to your inner child, to your subconscious. What did I say? This pile, it's about co-creating. There's a need to realize that you can co-create and that you can have more than what you are aiming for. For some of you, you're playing it safe and you're not wanting to take many chances. It's almost like some of you have gotten lost in the heaviness and responsibility of the world. Regeneration. This is definitely a time for regeneration. For my pile number 2, definitely a time to reconnect to self, to restart, to go about things in a new way. To start over for some of you. To chase new dreams, to create new dreams. A lot of healing is possible for this pile, and that's what your inner witch wants you to know. Oracle, wait for important information. For many of you, you are the oracle. You have the ability to connect, to receive information. For some of you, reading oracle cards, tarot cards, but also scrying, like a black obsidian mirror, would be very helpful. For some of you, when you are doing your divination work, when you are connecting to spirit, it could be helpful to cover your head. I'm seeing a very sensitive crown chakra for this group. Drum, dream, and journey. Yeah. For my pile number 2s, your inner witch is inviting you to go on a shamanic journey, on a meditation. For some of you, you're having dreams, and this is coming from your inner witch. There's information coming in, and it has to do with what's possible. For some of my pile number 2s, you dream very fantasy-like dreams. It's almost like you're kind of going into Hogwarts, or you're visiting Gandalf in your dreams. It's very... Some of you, I'm hearing, may go to Atlantis in your dreams as well. There's a lot of fantasy themes to your dreams. But definitely a journey where you kind of journey through... I'm kind of getting the lower world, if you are familiar with the shamanic tradition. But a lot of dreams, so you can set intentions, pile number 2, to receive guidance through your dreams, to receive information through your dreams. And you can tap in rather easily. For some of you, you have the snake as a totem animal. Seer, see beyond the current situation. We have the oracle and the seer. Look at this, a lot of head coverings. I don't see these cards before you do, but I saw this and I really got that for some of you, when you're trying to connect, wearing some sort of scarf over your head, some sort of head covering would be very helpful. Covering your eyes as well for some of you is going to help you to tap in. It could be a blindfold, it could be a head covering that kind of goes over the eyes, but I'm really getting that. Some of you are very good and very natural when it comes to scrying, whether it's a crystal ball or it's a black obsidian mirror. But some of you would be naturals and would benefit from that. But this is also speaking to the fact that there's a need to see beyond what's in front of you. Again, my pile number 2s, you've lost your sense of magic, your sense of possibility, of optimism. For many of you, life is feeling so heavy. And you can only focus on what's in front of you or what you see as real. For this pile, your inner witch is inviting you to connect to what you cannot see, to trust in what you cannot see, and to connect to the spirit realm. Again, scrying for this group. If you can scry, it would be very helpful. See what else we have. Banshee. Heed my warning, dear child, for what I hold is far from unsung lullabies. Swallow a nail and you can expect bleeding from within. Shadow work, my pile number 2s. Shadow work. Wolf, devour the ferocious calling within the howling of your spirit. Run wildly into the freedom of your knowing. There's a lot that you know and that you can tap into, but my pile number 2s, some of you can't unplug from the reality of the world long enough. For some of you, it's time to turn off the TV and to make space to connect from within. There is a shadow aspect for some of my pile number 2s that's preventing you from connecting. There is something here around what you were taught was real. And, you know, it was almost, I feel for my pile number 2s, many of you were very imaginative, very creative as children, and someone saw that as almost, it's almost like they saw it as a bad thing, as something that wasn't going to help you. Some of you growing up, you could see spirits, but that was kind of, you were talked out of it. You were convinced it wasn't real, and you were made to take on responsibilities from a very young age. And your inner witch wants to connect again. Black Moon Lilith with mystery. This pile is very clairvoyant, very claircognizant, very spiritual. Some of you can, like I said, some of you could see spirits growing up. I feel like you still can, but you've kind of shut that part off of yourself. It feels for my pile number 2s, you've blocked out your third eye. It's almost like you've closed it off. For some of you, it was out of fear. For others of you, it was someone while you were growing up. Could have been a parent, teacher, guardian that kind of told you that it was bad and not safe. Pluto transformation. Your inner witch is inviting you to reconnect, to transform. We see a lot of butterflies here. To transform how you view spirituality and the spirit realm. For some of you, you are interested in spirituality, in magic, witchcraft, but you can't fully commit to it because there's a part of you that is ashamed. There's a part of you that feels guilty. There's a part of you that feels it's wrong. The Lady of the Lake, absolute truth, courage, self-respect, responsibility. My pile number 2 is you're very responsible. But right now, your inner witch is inviting you to seek your truth. What is your truth, pile number 2? What do you believe in? Disruption. And there's a disruption happening, and this disruption is meant to help you reconnect to self. Reconnect to what you know is true and reconnect to your, to your higher self. For some of you, you keep very busy because you want to avoid having to reconnect. And let's take a look at these two. Winter, the sacredness of pausing. Look at that. My pile number 2 is you're being invited. There's almost a disruption happening here, and it's 2 messages. It's going to kind of split into 2 groups here. For one group, this disruption is happening as we speak, or it's coming very soon, where it's going to be out of your control. For my second group, it's your inner witch is asking you to take a pause. Your inner witch is asking you to go within and to create space and hold space for yourself and for your spirituality. If you don't, there is a tower moment that will happen it's almost like to force you to take a little bit of a break, to force you to pause. Pile number 2, you are the witch, the earthly weaver of the worlds. For some of you, you are struggling with your spiritual identity. You are struggling with what it means to be a witch. Pile number 2, there is no right or wrong answer. For some of you, it's having the courage, the strength to explore your spirituality. For many of you, being a witch is really connected with your creativity and allowing yourself to be creative and allowing yourself to use your imagination and third eye. For some of my pile number 2s, you may question if something is real or if you made it up. The answer here is what you see, what you experience is real. Your imagination is part of your gift. And it feels like for my pile number 2s, there's a lot that feels like you're just making it up. Like you're just imagining it. Never jam today. Promises that never come to be. Empty words, not living in the now. For some of you, it definitely feels like there was some sort of disappointment. And that's what kind of led to you being a bit disconnected from your spirituality, your magic, your imagination. And there's a need to ground and center yourself and be in the present moment. Fully in the present moment. I'm hearing for my pile number 2s, if you're having dinner, make sure that you are grounding yourself and having dinner. If you are talking to a friend, make sure that you are fully present while talking to that friend. Who in the world are you? Getting to know the new you. Pile number 2, what did I say? For some of you, this is about reconnecting to self and figuring out who you are at this moment. For some of you, it's also about letting go of this past idea of who you were or who you had to be. Remember, we are constantly evolving and growing. Who are you today? And knowing that who you are today may not be who you will be in 2 days, in 5 days, in 5 hours. And that's okay. Constantly reconnecting to self and making time to pause and connect. Let's take a look at who we have here. Goddess Kuan Yin with kindness, compassion, divine mercy. And we do have the Strength card, which is all about compassion and kindness. We have Guru Ram Das with humility, spiritual practice, and elevation. My pile number 2 is your inner witch is inviting you to connect to a spiritual practice that works for you, to elevate yourself. This is about exploring, pile number 2. Archangel Jophiel with joy, radiance, and inspiration. Yeah, that's inspiration. So you can connect with Archangel Jophiel, Goddess Kuan Yin. If some of you are into podcasts, Ram Dass, there is a podcast with the teachings, or you can find, there's a lot that you can find on him. But pile number 2, this is about you connecting to your creativity, to your imagination, to your third eye, your crown chakra, and coming up with a spiritual practice that works for you, whatever that looks like for you. And elevating yourself, elevating your vibration. A lot of transformation here for this group. I picked crystals, and this pile had 3. So we have Auralite, pink granite, and lapis lazuli. I do know lapis lazuli, throat chakra. For some of you, this is about getting in touch with your truth and then being able to speak your truth. I'm actually going to read from the book for these. And for Auralite, it says the soul connector. Auralite 23 has a sedative effect on the mind, stilling it so that profound healing and conscious connection with your soul, the universal mind, and higher dimensions occurs. Recognize that you are an integral part of humanity. Center yourself in inner peace, and connect to your higher mind before making a decision. Aligning to as above, so below, as without, so within leads to a sense of rightness and immense well-being. This is about quieting the mind. If you can get a piece of the Auralite, please do. I don't know about cost because I'm not very familiar with it, but don't go out and spend too much either. Then we have pink granite with the lightning bolt. And it says, you are an ancient Egyptian with the arcane knowledge the role entails. But you originated in the stars. You understand cycles of birth, death, and rebirth, and immortality. It's very interesting because we have a lot of transformation here. You have been involved in ancient power struggles. Cut yourself loose. Become more grounded. Learning experiences occur regularly and serendipitous. Healing insight. Everything must pass away. Death precedes transformation and rebirth. It's very interesting that we have that because we have who in the world are you now? And this is about getting to know the new you and being present. So there's a message here from your inner witch, pile number 2, about being able to release who you were and constantly transforming into who you are becoming while understanding that is always going to be changing. So let's talk about lapis lazuli, and it says, you are an immortal soul who has profound connection with the heavens. Your purpose is noble. You yearn for spiritual attunement, but may be hampered by outmoded viewpoints. So yeah, this is speaking about, again, changing. Who are you today versus who were you? And kind of feeling the heaviness. It's very interesting because these 3 are confirming the entire reading. And this is saying attuning to your divine nature enhances your well-being. There is spiritual dis-ease. Work with dreams and journey inward to find deeper insights. I swear this was this pile. Yeah, dream and journey. This is about working with the dreams, going inward, journeying. I'm actually going to put this one on the screen in case anyone wants to screenshot this. But definitely working with your third eye, your heart chakra, your throat chakra. For many of you, your inner witch is inviting you to connect to who you are and rediscover who you are. So the blessings coming your way, a blessing on your health, and I'm getting this is well-being. All areas of health, physical, but also emotional, mental health. And a blessing on your sleep. For some of you, there's definitely a need to pause, rest, relax, rejuvenate, reconnect. Very interesting, pile number 2. I would say this pile, it's definitely about reconnecting to who you are today and releasing the past and who you thought you had to be. But pile number 2, that is all I have for you. Let me know what you thought in the comment section. I would love to hear from you. If you liked the video, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to talk to you soon. Bye for now. Hi, pile number 3. Welcome to your reading. This is going to be your reading if you were drawn to the witch with the antlers. I'm going to place her right there. As a reminder, it's a general reading. Take what resonates, leave the rest behind. So we're going to be looking at the situation your inner witch wants to bring to your attention, advice, and this is going to be advice, if I can get them, and practical actions that you can take at this time. We're going to leave those to the side. Page of Chalices or Page of Cups, and 6 of Athames or 6 of Swords. Pile number 3. Your inner witch is wanting to bring to your attention there's a need to get creative about something that you are walking away from, something that you're leaving behind. For some of you, this could be a relationship, a job, career. There's a belief system, something. It's going to be different things for different people, but something you need to move away from, and it's going to require creativity for you to do so. For some of you, you are trying to move towards a different type of career. For some of you, it's a relationship. I'm getting those two major events, if you will. And there's a need to get creative as far as how you are going to do this. You're going to have to think outside of the box, and you're going to have to kind of come up with a way to free yourself from something. Some of you have already walked away from this. Some of you have walked away from a job, career. Some of you have walked away from a relationship. And what your inner witch wants you to do is connect to your creativity. Think outside of the box as you move forward. This is about doing something that you haven't done before, trying something in a different way. I'm almost getting this sense of some of you needing to be more adventurous and trust yourself more. For example, if you go to work and you always take the same route, be open to taking a different route. Be open to experiencing the world in a different way, to seeing the world in a different way. For a few of you, I'm actually getting a message around creativity. There's been a creative block, and that is now lifting. So you are now going to be able to move forward with your project. Someone here could be an artist, because I am seeing that very closely. Someone here could definitely be an artist. That's not going to be the case for everyone, though. But overall, this is your inner witch is inviting you to, for some of you, definitely connecting to the inner child as well, but to connect to your creativity and to do things in a way that you haven't done them before. Because there's a need to switch things up in order to get to where you want to be. And there is a message here about my pile number 3s being in a transition. Things are changing, things are moving, you're closing one chapter and starting another. For some of you, you are closing the book and starting another one. Let's take a look at the advice here. First card is the 4 of Shells or the 4 of Cups. Second card is Strength. You could have been drawn to a different pile. If you were, I suggest you check it out. 4 of Cups here. There is this energy of, for some of you, things were stagnant for a while. And this makes sense because I keep getting like somebody going to work or somebody going to school and taking a different route or doing things slightly different than what they've done before. And it's because there's that sense of boredom, that sense of stagnation to this for this pile. And that's why you're being asked to kind of mix things up, think outside the box, get creative, do things in the way that you've never done them before. For some of you, in order to do that, you're going to have to connect to your emotions. You're going to have to allow your emotions to flow. And for some of you, there's something repressed. It feels like sadness because look at his little face. I don't know, he looks so sad to me. It feels like sadness. It feels like regret, guilt, shame. Could be fear for some of you. But there's a need to step into your courage and walk away from certain things and do things in a different way. For this pile, letting go of fear, and I know that letting go of fear makes it sound so easy when it's not, but taking small steps towards doing things in a different way is very important for this pile. Let's take a look at the practical actions you can take at this time. Empress, okay. That makes sense. Star, yeah. For many of you, there was a different pile you were drawn to. If that's the case, I suggest listening to it because this is very similar. There's some messages here that are kind of crossing. But with the Empress and Star as the practical advice, as what you can do. Pile number 3, you are being called to nurture yourself, to take care of yourself, set boundaries. For some of you, it could be a good time to get an energy healing session. For others of you, it's time to, I'm getting exercise for some reason. For some of you, stretching. For some of my pile number 3s, even treating yourself to a nice outfit, to kind of a day out, a spa day if you can, depending on where you are at this time. But overall, there's a sense of reconnecting to your self-confidence. And for some of you, it's even like getting dressed up, putting on something that makes you feel confident about yourself, whatever that is. It could be jewelry, makeup, it could be an outfit, regardless of gender, whatever it is that makes you feel good. But there's also a need here. For some of you, there's a need for, I keep getting healing session like Reiki, IET, something energy healing. It could be acupuncture. It's something that's going to connect you to the body. For others of you right now, meditation would be very good. I'm also getting planning something out, kind of writing your plans out, manifesting, working on what you are manifesting. For some of you, aromatherapy, essential oils, I am hearing lavender, orange, rose. Could be others, but those are the ones I'm specifically hearing. A healing bath, a cleansing bath would be good for this pile. If you work with Florida water, that would be good as well. I'm seeing clear quartz, smoky quartz for this pile. But there's a need here to find a happy medium between what you are leaving behind and what you are moving towards, because you're kind of, again, in this sense of transition right now. Make sure that you take care of yourself as you do this. For some of you working with selenite and black tourmaline, typically what I like to do is I hold selenite on one hand, black tourmaline on another, and I allow that to ground and cleanse my energy. For my pile number 3, working with your aura right now would be very helpful. Some of you have like a yellowish aura, but there's some muckiness in it right now, some spiritual debris that needs to be cleared out. And I think that's why energy healing keeps coming in. Let's take a look at what else we have. Unfinished symphony. Some of you are walking away or getting ready to walk away. That Six of Athames. Like I said, some of you are closing a chapter to open another chapter, but some of you are closing a chapter to open a whole entire book. Fork in the road. Yeah. You're transitioning. Your inner witch is like you are in the middle of a transition and you're closing things out. Make sure that you are very gentle, kind, compassionate towards self as you move through this, because this is some hard work. Higher power. Connecting to a higher power would be very good at this time, whether you believe in spirit, universe, God, higher self, goddess, whatever it is that you believe in. Connecting to somebody, to something, I was going to say somebody, but something outside of yourself. Having faith and optimism that everything is going to work out. For some of you, the practical action is self-care and working on your faith. Whatever faith means to you and whatever that looks like to you. Because there's something that you're closing out and you're definitely you're in the middle of the transition. And you can go either way. But we have the 10 here. There's an energy of something being closed. And we have 4 and then we have 13, 1 plus 3, 4. And another 4, 4, 4, 4. Some of my pile number 3s, you could be seeing 4s. But things have been stagnant and it's time to move them forward. Sage, be devoted and committed. Some of you are connecting to the inner sage. Some of you are connecting to your inner truth. Some of you are finally allowing yourselves to be seen for who you are. For some, with this Empress here, I kind of keep getting something around an outfit or something that you wear to make you feel confident. I'm also seeing the color red and gold. So for some of you, it could even be dressing as your authentic self and putting yourself out there in a way that's going to help you feel more confident. For pile number 3, you are working on your sense of worth as well. Traveler, move in a new direction. My pile number 3s, you are definitely moving away from something and towards something new. And this is going to require some faith, some optimism, some trust. It's going to require you to travel through the unknown. Father Sky, trust in the unknown. I don't see these cards before you do. That's something right there. Yeah, there you go. This is going to require you to move through. This is a period of transition, but you're not going to be clear on what the right move is or what you should do, because this is about you learning to trust yourself and to trust in the unknown. And in order to trust in the unknown, you have to trust yourself and know that you can get yourself through anything. And you have pile number 3. Throughout your entire life, you have gotten through every single difficult moment in your life. And here we are watching this now. So congratulate yourself on that and recognize that. Candle magic. Speak your breath into its velvet, recite along its spine all that you desire, all that which will unravel. My pile number 3s, candle magic can be very powerful for this pile. You guys are very good at manifesting with the Empress here. It could be time to do some candle magic. I'm seeing a white candle, red candle, pink candle, yellow candle. It depends on what you want to work on. For someone here, I'm seeing a chakra candle. So one candle and it has one color for each chakra. So 7 different colors. And it has a stone inside of it. Broom. What dreams may come from what you seek, make room, make way, a clearing need be. I keep getting energy healing for this pile. Some of you could definitely be Reiki masters, Reiki practitioners, IET. Some of you could do breath work, yoga. Whatever it is, connect to it. You are clearing out the old to make space for the new. Definitely work with your aura and cleansing your aura. It could be a good time to do a bell cleanse. It could be a good time to do some smudging as well. Some of you working with the broom to clear things out. Someone needs to sweep the room where they do their magic in, is what I'm hearing, as well as sweeping the house, opening the windows and doors, and letting energy flow through. Of course, do it as if it's safe. Intuition, you hold the answers, you know the truths. Ancient ones await behind the doors of the mind. And you have the Empress. Very intuitive energy, a lot of Venus energy. Some of you have Libra rising or Taurus rising. Others of you have an Aquarius rising. Leo energy also very present here. And water signs, so Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces. But very intuitive pile. Let's take a look at what we have here. Earth element, stability. And my pile number 3 is you're working on your stability. You are creating stability. For my pile number 3s, earth magic. Working with the animals. Some of you are shamans. Some of you will be training in shamanism. Could be seeing 1111. But earth magic, paganism, Wicca. A lot of witchcraft, a lot of things with the hands happening here, where you are doing some candle magic. You are very engaged, and it's very active. It's very active spirituality. 11th house, friends. For some of you, you are trying to manifest friends. For others of you, this is about manifesting your spirit team, connecting to your spirit team. Someone here is seeking a coven, and it's coming for you. It's going. If you have been looking for a coven to be a part of, you are manifesting that, and it's going to show up for you. Some of you are looking to make new friends because you've walked away from a friend group or a friendship that was very important. And this is saying you're making room. Continue to clear your aura. Continue to clear the energy around you. Some of you are really cleaning out the energy in your home or your workspace. I keep getting that. Wealth. Yeah. And for some of you, this is spiritual wealth. Financial, but it feels more like a sense of peace, a sense of joy coming in. The water fairy, feelings and emotions. For my pile number 3s, you're becoming more intuitive, more in tune with your emotions. Some of you are channeling your emotions into what you are creating. You're more in control of yourself as well. Things aren't as triggering as they once were. 2 + 8, another 10. And this one is 4 + 3, 7. A lot of spirituality here. And a lot of closing and restarting, new beginnings. The horse, accepting help from another, delegating authority. Some of you have the horse as a spirit animal. Some of you are seeking more freedom. For others of you, it's time to ask for help. It's time to tell the people around you, your friends, your family, your connections, that you need help. And it's okay to allow yourself to receive help. Someone here at work may need to delegate. You're taking on too much. You may need to speak to someone and let them know that you do need help and that you need to redistribute your responsibilities. And that's going to help you manifest more freedom. Very interesting. Let's see what we have from the Halloween Oracle. Scrying, intuition again. Your inner witch is trying to connect you to your intuition. For some of you, working with a crystal ball, or I'm actually seeing runes for this pile, working with runes. Cauldron, synergy, and healing. There's a lot of healing happening for this group. Some of you are very, very good cooks. Some of you make some very good soup. I don't know why I'm seeing that, but I'm seeing soup. I'm also seeing pasta. Some of you are very good at cooking. You could be a chef. You don't have to be. But there's almost a healing element to the foods that you make. You are rare and free. There are not many like you. And we have the horse, and the horse is definitely freedom. For some of you, you are realizing what it means to be authentically you. You are no longer afraid to show yourself. I'm hearing show yourself from Frozen 2. If you know the song, you know the song. But there's something here about you being more authentic. I keep seeing someone wearing something that perhaps they didn't dare to wear before. And it kind of gives them a sense of confidence. So that may resonate for some of you. I'm also seeing a peacock as a spirit animal for this group. Believe, strange encounters. Some of you are quite spiritual. Some of you can see some spirits. But there's a sense here of reconnecting to the spirit realm, reconnecting to your healing abilities, and reconnecting to what is possible. Some of you have been experiencing a lot of synchronicity that you can't quite explain. Some of you have been catching something out of the corner of your eye as well. I'm getting it towards my left. So it could be a spirit from an ancestor from the maternal side. Let's do these two. Mary Magdalene with divine feminine, devotion, sacred. We're going to call it sensuality for the purposes of this reading. Definitely the divine feminine is calling this pile. A lot of you are learning devotion to yourself and devotion to your craft. For my pile number 3, some of you are stepping into your witchcraft, into your spiritual practice. Again, for many of you, there's something that you're doing with your hands, whether you're creating blends of essential oils. Some of you could be making candles or working with candle magic. Others of you, you're gardening, you're cooking. There's something about you doing something with your hands that's part of your spirituality. Sorry about that. Got a little croak. And Goddess Lakshmi with prosperity, beauty, fortune. And there's a lot of prosperity coming in, a lot that you're manifesting. And I don't feel that this is just monetary. It feels like almost a sense of well-being and a sense of joy and happiness. Let's take a look at the 2 crystals. Anandalite, I believe, anandalite. And citrine. I do know citrine. All right, so I am going to read from the book for the crystals because I am not that familiar with them. For the anandalite, I believe that's how you say that, it's cosmic consciousness. And it says, you are here to experience cosmic consciousness, transform your goals, and seek a new direction. Pile number 3, and this is all about transitioning, moving away from something, getting creative. You have exceptionally clear sight now. Stripped to the bone as the old falls away, do not despair, new light is infused. When you transform your awareness, humanity experiences a quantum shift. Earlier, I was going to say this and then I didn't want to say it because I didn't know how to actually say it, but this bone stood out to me. And I know that there's a form of divination that deals with, I think it's like bones. It's almost like runes, but it's bones. I could be wrong. Some of you would be very good at that, or that runs in your ancestral line. But I'm going to show this here in case anybody wants to screenshot it. But it also says, healing insight, enlightenment can happen right now. You are part of everything and everything is a part of you. So I don't know much about this crystal, but if you can get your hands on a piece, it would be very helpful. And then we have citrine with abundance, a stone of joy and abundance. Citrine helps you to interact creativity, with the world. It promotes inner calm, and we did have a lot of that coming in. Take time out for joyful play. Self-regard heals a damaged child. And we did have the Page of Cups. So for some of you doing some inner child healing, abundance is all around you. You attract success and prosperity. Stop worrying. Be optimistic and allow life to happen. Trust your intuition and perception. For some of you, your intuition is so on point right now. True abundance comes from within. If you nurture your desires, you will bring joy to your wise child self. I'm going to hold this one up as well, in case anyone wants to screenshot. I have shaky hands. I'm sorry, pile number 3. I have really shaky hands. But let's take a look at the blessings your inner witch is bringing your way. A blessing to bring clarity. Yeah, things are going to start to click and make sense. 8. Some of you, the number 8 is very important at this time. You could be a life path number 8. You could be a creative expression number 8. Number 3 as well. A blessing on a friendship. For some of you, you are trying to bring in new friendships, new connections. It's coming in. And for some of you, that's what you're walking away from. Connections that were not fulfilling you. There's change coming. For some of my pile number 3s, working with the unicorn as a spirit animal would be very helpful through meditation, writing, whatever it is. But the unicorn coming in is very important for this pile. Pile number 3, let me know what you thought in the comment section. That's all I have for you. If you like the reading, please like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Let me know what you'd like to see next. And if you'd like to book a personal reading, that information is in the description box below. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you soon. Bye for now.